So as our last class we look at the formula of covariance and how to solve question on covariance. And the question we solve at our last class is with what? Probability distribution, if you remember. That's all. So it's the information that is given to you that will determine what you will use, which formula you will use. So if you are given data like information on covariance, standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y, you will know that the appropriate formula to use is the first what? Formula. Because from the formula of covariance, this is the formula of covariance. Are we together? This formula is the formula for covariance. But I told us that this PXY stands for what? Correlation coefficient of x and what? And y. Of x and what? And y. So from there now, just make the correlation coefficient, which is PXY, to be subject of formula. So when you make it the subject of formula, what happens? That means this will stand and this will come to this side. So you divide both sides by what? By standard deviation of x and standard deviation of what? Of y. So when you divide both sides by that, you will now have correlation coefficient, which is PXY standing what? Alone. So you can see that you can derive correlation coefficient formula from what? From covariance formula. Are we together? The second formula, which is when series of data are given to you, we all know data given to you, and that data is without what? Probability distribution. This is the formula you will use. I've told us that the n means what? The number of the data. It can be from 1 to 10. It can be from 1 to what? 100. That is the number. Don't forget, what is the essence of we calculating correlation coefficient? To what? We are using to establish or to determine the relationship between what? Between two variables. What is the two variables? X and y. And that's the reason why you are seeing x and y in the formula that we are putting on the board to calculate that now. So you can see the formula for probability distribution, which is this second formula, without probability distribution. If you are given a series of what? Of data. So if you are given a series of data, it is these two formula that will determine which one you use. That means this one is not what? Is not appropriate. So the question will now be, am I giving probability distribution for this data? If you are giving, you will use this. If you are not giving, you are going to use this. Someone asked a question about the probability distribution of both x and y not the same. So you need to look for the what? For the joint probability distribution, which we are going to do later. It's going to be part of the questions that we are going to solve after we have gone through this simple stage. Am I communicating now? So this is the formula for without probability distribution. N summation xy minus summation x minus summation y divided by what? The square root of open bracket n summation x raised to power 2 minus open bracket summation x raised to close bracket raised to power 2 close bracket and open bracket what? N summation y raised to power 2 minus what? Open bracket summation y close bracket raised to power what? 2. So let's go to with probability distribution now. Series of what? Of data with probability distribution. With probability distribution. Now, it is what? I've just informed you, it's the same thing. But the only difference there is that there is probability in this formula. Now, that E that you are seeing is used to what? To denote the what? The probability. So if you like, you can put P there. But however, remember to note, if you are giving this that P is what? Is probability distribution. Am I communicating now? Are we together? Now let's continue. Now, this formula will now be summation x. Can you see? Just remove the n. So whenever you have the summation, be putting e here. The same thing with this. It's just the e. The probability distribution is different. Look at it. Summation what? E x y. What do we have here? Summation n summation x y. Just because it is with that with probability, just remove the what? E. Put e at the. Look at it. Minus what? Summation e x summation what? E y. Let me write it there. Summation e what? Y. Are we together now? Look at what we have here. Summation what? X and summation. So whenever you have the summation, just be putting what? E. That's just, it's still the same. What's it called? Formula. So let's move to calculation now of covariance now. I will write the question on the board, so there won't be need for. No, don't worry. I don't want to do the page because I have learned from my experience. I've learned from my experience. Even the question that was, some other question that was solved, I've put it on the book. So please, this is the question we want to solve now. So let's, I'm with you. I'm with you, sir.
Sir, is there any way we can use to derive that formula of
No. I will check whether I will give you the exam. I will check your question. But I know the formula for what's it called? For portfolio. That means the standard deviation of portfolio they will give you at the back of your answer question booklet. But I will confirm. But let us move forward now. I will do that later. Now look at this now. We have return. This is the probability. This is the joint probability distribution. This is the joint probability distribution, and this RE represents what? It represents the return on what? On investment what? X, and RY represents what? The return on investment what? Y. They now say you should look for what? The correlation what? Coefficient. Am I communicating now? So which formula are you going to use? Which formula are you going to use? The third one. So let's look at the third one. I'm not supposed to. Why? Okay, the third one is what? It should be that's covariance is what? Summation E x y minus what? Summation E y minus summation E x all over what? Square root of what? Open bracket summation what? Summation E x raised to power 1 minus what? Open bracket what? Summation E x close bracket what? Raised to power 2 open bracket. See, it's simple. You know why I say simple? Look at this. Look at this. You know you have done for this. This is for what? X. You will do the same thing. So whenever you see what? X, just put what? Y. So this one will have be summation what? E y square minus what? Open bracket what? Summation E what? Y raised to power 2 close what? Bracket. So these are the variables you want to look for now. So you need to look for this variable before you can apply the what? The formula. So let's look at the variable. Let's go for what? For x first, right? So once you look for all these variables that is related to what? To x. So look at it now. Please look at this. We have what? P. We have P. We have R X, we have to look for P R what? X. Don't forget that this E is what? Is probability. So you can, if you like, you can put what? P there, and now note that that P represents what? The probability. Now, you now have what? What we call R X raised to power 2. Look at it now. P return of what? Of X. Is it not this? Are we together? Is it not E? Are we together now? So please just look at it now. I will be picking the variables. I will be picking the variables. So please, you can answer. You can unmute your mic and ask the question, please. So look at it now. 0.3, 0.5, 0.2. Return on Y is what? 25, 22, 12. So we don't have this is what we are deriving now. So P times what? RS, that means return of what? X. 0.3 times 25. Well, let's be fast. Let's be fast. 7.5. 0.5. What do you call it? 11. 0.5 times 22, 11. 0.2 times what? 12 is what? 2.4. Look at this now. Probability, just let's assume that this probability is E now of return of X. Are we together now? Where can you find that? Where can you find it? This, right? This is what that means you have to sum it because it says summation. Are we to, do you get what I just said? Yeah. This means return times what? Probability distribution. Are we together now? This, it means return times what? Probability distribution. That means let us sum this together now so that we know we have to look for this variable. Yeah? So summation P. So what do you have? 20.9. So what is this now? It means the square of return. So 25 raised to power what? 2. That means 25 times 25 is what? 2625. So 22 raised to power 2. 484. 484. Why 12 raised to power 2 is what? 144. Are we together? Look at this now. What's the variable we are looking for now? Probability times what? The square of what? Of return of X. So it will now be this now times what? 0.3. What do you have? 187.5. 187. 187.5. According to you. 484 times what? 0.5. 242. So 144 times what? Probability of 0.2 is what? 28.8. 28. According to you. So now look at it now. This thing that we are looking for now, look at this now. Where can you find it in this formula? Where can you find it in this formula? This, right? Yes. Where summation. Ma? Why am I using
PS instead of E? Some
It's
people
a
use
formula.
they
You're
also
not
know
using
to use
anything. You're
ES.
using it as me. Yeah.
yeah, please, when we started, maybe you didn't follow. What did I say? What is your I can study? E, right? And what did I say E represents? I say E is what? Probability distribution. That if you are putting P here, just note there at the bottom of that formula and say that that P represents your what? Your probability what? Distribution, or represent probability. So is it confusing? So if you know that that is what is easy for you to do, just what form. Because if I put P now, the same people will ask me that is E that is in the pack, why am I putting P? But however, what I will do is that I can form a formula that is like this, that will just go along with what we have done here. I will send that to you. Thank you. So summation P R S raised to power 2 is equals to what? So add it together. 4 5 458 point what? 3. Madam Elizabeth, you are raising your hand up. You are raising your hand up. You can ask your question.
Sorry, please, I just want to ask, how do we arrive at 187.5? I'm trying to get it.
187.5. Look at it now. This is P. This is return raised to power, return of x raised to power 2. Look at the return of x now. It means P times what? Return of x raised to power 2. And this is your return of x, which is 625 times what? This P, which is 0.3. So you have this. So look at it now. Summation P return of x. Where can you find it in this formula? This is right. Am I communicating? This is it now. Probability times what? Times return of x raised to power 2. And that's it. That's what we are finding. So let's repeat the same thing for what? For y.
Why don't we finish X first before we go to
We are done with x now.
one of the second one?
Which one?
That's can you relate on
Which one?
the solution
This
X
one.
square?
This one.
No. No, the next one,
This one.
Yes, solution ES square. What about it?
We have not done it.
Yes.
Are you sure? This summation probability of return of x. This is it now.
This one has square. This one has square.
Ask what?
Square.
Which one? Change this one.
Has square. That's not it.
It's bracket. The square is outside now.
Okay. I was okay.
It's
solution
outside.
everything square, not
Yes, now it's outside. So whatever you find, I will now still get the square. Don't worry. This formula, I will change it to these variables. Are we together? Okay. Let me change it. So that maybe we understand. Let me change it now for those that wants to. You see the same thing, no? So this is our what? E. Am I correct? This is our what? X. And this is our what? E what? X. Right? And this is our what? This is our x raised to power square. And this is our what? E. Are we okay with that? Okay. So, can you see now? So, let me now clean this place for those. I understand you are doing everything to satisfy everyone. Because you have to get it, that's the main thing. So this one will be summation what? EX. And this will be summation EX. So are we okay with that? I think there will be a question now. It's easier for you to identify. So let's go to Y. The same thing for Y too. E what? Y. E times what? Y. E square and what? EY square. So what is our E distribution? Is probability. That's 0.3, 0.5, and with you, ma'am? 0.2, and with you?
This formula that you're changing, is it the same thing with the pack?
In the past, they didn't use this variable that is in the formula. They were using P and what? Return of what? Of X. So I will screenshot it to you so that you see it. That's what I use consistently with this. But because people are, it's still the same thing. Just pick anyone. You can write P here and write what? R what? Okay, let me write anyone you want to choose. Let me just write on it now. P, is that you choose P? What's it called? R what? X. And what? P R X and what? R X what? Square. And P what? R X what? Square. So anyone you want to, if you want to pick anyone. So this is what they used in the past to tackle this formula. But we are using this according to what? To the formula. You see the same thing. I don't know it often, but I will. I'm coming home. Now let's continue now. So am I recording?
Yes.
So we have what? 28, that will be return of what? 1. And we have 18, we have 15. So look at it now. I'm using so that we can get it directly now. E is the probability. Y. So EY is what? 0.3 times what? Times 28. That will give us 8.4. 0.5 times 18. 9. 0.2 times 15. So let's go to what? Y what? Square. Well, this is our Y, right? So 28 raised to power what? 2. What do you call it? 784. And 0.5 times 18 square rather. Sorry. 324. 18 raised to power 2. 225. So look at this now. E is our what? Don't forget that we have gotten our what? And y raised to power 2, which is this now. We are now adding what? A new variable to it, which is what? Probability. So it will now be this times what? Probability, which is 0.3 times 784 is what? 235 point what? Okay, thank you. Is 0.5 times 324. 162. Okay. 0.2 times 225. 40. So don't forget that we are supposed to sum this up and this so that we can get it in our formula. Because look at it now. E, that is summation. Summation E. Okay, 20.4. Look at it. So if you want to find it in the formula now, where is it? The other side, this is it, right? Are we together? And this also, but don't worry. Now summation e raised to power what? Square. So add this together. 4 4 2. So yeah, I think that's all right. But don't forget, you have to look for this. Summation what? EX and summation EY. You have to look for that. So once we do that now, we can now go to our what? To this formula, to the formula and because you have to derive all the variables. That you have not gotten. Take this one. Yeah, that's what we want to get now. Sorry, I was pointing with this. That's what we want to get now. Summation EXY. You know, this one is just summation EY. This summation EY times what? That's summation EY. Is it? So this is what we are looking for. This is what we are looking for. Sorry for that. So look at it now. Look at it. He's saying that what? Probability distribution times what? Times return of x and return of what? Of y. So just put it together and we now what? Sum it. So that's what we are looking for. Can you see the board from here? Hey, yeah, it's because I want to solve something here. That's why I shifted the board. So I want to shift it back. So now, what do you want to do now? Probability, right? X will give us what? E X Y. So what's our E? Is 0.3. 0.5 is 0.3. That's our joint probability. But there are some in the exam that you will not be given. You will be given different probability distribution. But when we get to that, I'll tell you how to look for it. So, but let's solve this now. Let me even this simple one is getting. So return of x is what? 25, 22, 12. Y is what? 28, 18, and 15. So can you see now? E times what? X times y. So 0.3 times 25 times 28. 210. 0.5 times 22 times 18. 198. 198. Don't worry, I can see how you have raised up your hand. So let's just finish this. 0.2 times 12 times 15. 36. So let's solve it together. So it will now be summation of EXY is equals to what? 444. Okay, the person that just raised your hand up. So the question, what do you want to ask? So if you look at the formula I've given earlier, so this is our summation what? Yes. Summation EXY. So what is our EXY? 444. We are now, since we have looked for the data now, minus what? Minus summation EXY. What is EXY? EX, sorry, EX. What's our summation EX? 20 point what? Times what? Summation EY. EY is what? 20.4. So square root, don't forget. Square root, open brackets what? Summation EX what? Square. What are EX square? 458.3 according to what you gave me. So now summation EX. What summation EX? 20.9 raised to power 2. So you open bracket. So summation EY squared. So what's the summation EY squared? 4 according to what you calculated. 2.2. Minus what? Open bracket what? 20 summation EY. What's EY? 20.4 raised to power what? 2 raised to power 10. So what do you have? Just give me what is in the I can't wait for. So what do you have? Just press this in your calculator. By now you should know how to press calculator. Yeah?
I think the final.
The final answer. Just give me the final answer.
17.6.
17.
The final result 0.785.
You want to pause yourself. 0 point what?
0.746.
7.5. Anyone? Now, let me now go back to what I said in the last class. You know, I told you. Let's now say in the exam. You know that's why I changed my face when you say 17 for correlation coefficient.
No, I think you want to break it.
You cannot have an answer for correlation coefficient to be outside what? +1 and minus what? -1. It will be within that range. Whenever you get answer, you are getting 2. You are getting 17, 15. It's just better you are just approximate it to be 0.15. Just save yourself disgrace so that the marker will not even be laughing at you that it seems that this person does not know what he or she is calculating. It's just that is why I will always get the final answer for what? For statement of cash flow. Even though I didn't solve it well, I already know the answer. So please take note of that. Your correlation coefficient is going to range from what? +1 to what? To -1. It can't be more than it can't cross that line. So if it is +1, the maximum it can get is what? +1, and that's why you call +1 to be what? Perfectly what? Positive correlated. That means if the two, look at it now, if the two investments are perfectly positive correlated, it means it is what? +1. That means they are moving in the same what? Direction. Look at it. The same direction. That means if one, look at it now, the same side. So if A now, if X, I'm just giving an example, comes down, Y too will what? Will come down. If that one increases, they will increase. Are we together now? That's what we call +1. But if it is -1, they are not what? They are moving in an opposite direction. That is, -1 means perfect negative what? Correlated. It means that if one rises up, what happens? If the price of X now goes up, what will happen to Y? I say Y, is it X? I say X. If the price of X should go up, that means Y what? Will come down. Are we together? That is negative, perfectly negative correlated, which is -1. But you can have the 0 point. That means this calculation now, it means that they are positively what? Correlated, but it is not perfect. In a way, they are still what? They are moving together please. Any question? No question for now. Let's go to let's go to portfolio theory now. No question. Nobody should ask question. So I want you to what is on the board. So did I on the camera when I was talking this? Okay. So after using the variables, after we have determined all the variables, we now apply what? This formula. But at this level, I can't be, this times this plus minus this times this raised to power 2 minus, you know it by now. You can even put everything inside your calculator and get the answer once if you know how to press your calculator. Or you press all this in your calculator, the numerator you press it too and divide. You get what I'm saying now? So there's no big deal there. So let's now go to portfolio now. You know they say that if you have money or if you have an investment, they used to say there when I was in university, when they were teaching us portfolio, that do not put all your investments in one basket. Are we together now? Do not put your that's why they represent it with egg. I think there is one textbook that is explaining portfolio that say that portfolio means that don't put your egg in one basket, because if anything should happen to that one basket, what happen? The investment is what everything is gone. Look at it now. So what do you now mean by portfolio theory? Look at this. I'm now defining, you can write or you can decide not to. For financial management students, you can be taking points because they can ask you, even SFM, assumption of what? Of portfolio. Assumption of capital asset pricing model, they can ask you. So let's go now. Portfolio theory is concerned with how investors should build a portfolio of investment. That means how they should build different investments that will give them a suitable balance. Suitable what? Balance between what? Between return and investment risk. So that you will now be looking at, okay, I have two things that I can invest in, and I'm with you now. Okay, let me come again. Portfolio theory is concerned with how investors should build a portfolio of investment. Are we together now? Portfolio of investment that will give them a suitable, it's not a suitable what? Balance between what? Return and investment risk. There should be a balance between what?
Returns and investment.
Are we together now? Now, look at it now. You have 100 million. Now, because you want to invest now, you don't want to take risk. You now put that 100 million on an investment. And that investment that you put that 100 million on will only generate you a return of 0.00000001. Is it balanced with that? Are we together now? Are we together? I'm just giving an example. Cool. You know what I will do? Okay, let me for the last time. Portfolio theory is concerned with how investors should build a portfolio of investment or different investments, or how they should invest that will give them a suitable balance between what? Return and investment risk. What are we looking at? You know, I told you that whenever you want to invest, whenever an investor wants to invest, he wants to know the risk involved and the expected return on that investment. Are we together? Yes. Look at it now. Suitable balance means we are saying that portfolio is not saying that because you don't want to put your egg in one basket, that find another basket and just put the other. Are we together? That's not what portfolio is saying. Portfolio is saying that investment that you want to make, you have to look for what? For a basket that will help you to what? To balance between what? Risk and what? And return. That means you should not invest in any investment that the risk will be high and the return will be what? Will be low. Why are you taking the risk? Are you getting what I'm saying? Are we together now? Yes. The risk is high and the return is very what? It's very low. And that's why I don't know whether most of us invest on, do save our money on all this money banker. I know for Wema that if you want to save your money, you want to fix it, they have different what rate for range of what of deposit that you want to fix. The higher the what the interest. No, the higher the interest now, the higher the money, the higher the deposit that you want to put in that fixed in deposit account, the higher the interest you get. Me, I'm familiar with Wema with that. So that means someone that is putting 1,000 cannot get the same what? The same percentage of return with someone that will put what? 30 million. Are we together now? Are we together? Now, portfolio is not looking at picking anyhow basket. It's looking at what? Basket that will help you to what? To balance your return and balance your what? Your risk. I'm just giving an illustration. Now, that means you need to what? To now calculate. And how do you now balance? Are we together now? How do we now balance risk and what? And return? Through what? Diversification. You can balance through what? Diversification. Look at it now. Diversification, you are saying that you should what? Invest. Are you together now? You should invest in an investment that will enable you to what? To reduce your what? To reduce your what? Your risk and help you to get the maximum what? Expected what? Return. Are we together now? And if you diversify now, that means, and that's why you see what Dangote is doing. If cement is not selling today now, are we together now? We know that petroleum what? The oil, the petrol and gas and every other thing, we can compensate for his what? For his loss in what's it called? In cement. You know, we have what? I think there was a time he was doing Dangote noodles and what's it called? And spaghetti, right? I think so. But I don't think he can beat the number one. You guys know the number one when it comes to spag and noodles now. Are we together now? But he's doing all this just to diversify. So that if anything should happen to any of this business or this investment, others can what? Can compensate. That you need to concentrate only on cement. Anything can change in this world though. Another technology can just come in place that people will not be using cement to build house again or to construct anything again. They will just be using another thing. So what will happen to his business then? To that cement? Close down. And if it's that what he has put all his investment on, he can what? He will lose all his investment. Just like this soap, ST soap. You know ST? So the man put all his investment and energy on that business. Assuming he was diversifying. Are you getting what I'm saying now? The loss that the loss that he incurred on that business ST. That if he diversify, he can recover that loss from another investment. And that's why you see all these rich people, they don't put their money in one basket. If you go and read book on what's it called? This man, this one of the richest man, I wrote a book, I've forgotten his name. Otedola. He was saying that when he was making money, he was buying houses, buying real estate, going to real estate, and his business that he's doing now went what? Down. It was that money that he has invested into buying of real estate that he sold those part of some of the real estate and used it because the price has gone up by then. You know, land and they don't depreciate now. Now use it to what? To cover for the loss. Okay, let's continue. So you can what? You can reduce risk through what? Diversification. Investing in what? In another investment. You can have 1 million. Don't put it on what? What portfolio is that? Don't put it on what? On one investment. Put part of it that will enable you to compensate, and if any loss should occur, it can compensate for either of the two. It can be three, it can be four. It can compensate for each other. And that's why I used to say this now. Some gamblers that play Naija bet and all these sporting bets, they understand this portfolio theory. Some naive one go and put their money. I'm not encouraging you to bet, on what? Put 100,000 on just one game. If the game shop what happen? What happen? The money is gone. Are we together now? But if what they will not do is that they will not use somebody to pay, you will see some people tickets. It's like textbook. Yeah. What are they doing? What are they doing? Diversify. At least one will come. So to recover for the loss. Now, get this now. We have two types of risks when we are talking about investment risks. We have systematic risks and unsystematic risks. Systematic risks can be what? Can be eliminated through diversification. Can be eliminated or reduced through diversification. But systematic risks cannot be what? Cannot be eliminated through diversification, because it's the risk of that exists in the market. So as an individual, can you eradicate risk, the market risk of investment? You can. So is that your investment that you can reduce the risk? So can you get it now? Systematic risk cannot be what? Cannot be reduced through what? Through diversification. But unsystematic risk can be reduced through diversification, and I've given reasons for that. Now let's now move forward. Now let's now go to two asset portfolio. For those in strategic financial management, it was expressly stated in your material that if they are asking you question on calculation of expected return, and that they won't ask you more than what? More than two asset portfolio. But I doubt that for SFM. But I went through your I doubt that in FM. I know they want you to do some calculation, but because your SFM material is more wider than, so they won't want to stress you. SBI, there are some standards that are not examinable in SBI. That is examinable in FR. Are we together now? And because they don't want to stress, I can't. They are just too nice. So how do we now calculate? If you are giving two investments now, how do you calculate the expected return of what? Of two investments. You know what have we calculated since? We have been calculating what? The individual. So let's go now. So the expected return of from a two asset portfolio. So how do you calculate it? Okay, sorry. I was carried away. Whenever this happen, just inform me. I was carried away, sorry. So this is the formula. So return of portfolio is equal to what? The return of investment A. So you can decide to use any of the, you can investment what? W, can be investment IO, anyone you like. So investment what? The return, that means the individual return on investment what? A. So if you are not giving the expected return on investment A, you go and what? You go and look for it yourself. You know how to look for it now. You know how to look for it now. You don't know how to look for it. You calculated the expected return now. Well, how do you calculate the expected return? Okay. plus see, you can have this x means the proportion of investment, the percentage of investment in what? In A. That's the meaning of this x. You can have, look at this, bracket 1 minus what? X. That means, look at it oh. Look at this. Please, look at this. That means the proportion is saying the percentage. Are we together now? Let me give example. You look up oh. Let's say you have 1 million to invest. Are we together now? You have 1 million. You now invest 400,000 on A and 600,000 on investment B. You know the total investment, total money you have with you is what? 1 million. But for you now to know the proportion say we are saying the percentage of the percentage of the 1 million that you invested in what? In A and B. So for those that are in foundation, in skills, please note this. So for A now, it will be what? It will be 400,000 all over the what? The total 1 million times what? 100. That will give us what? 40%. That means we invested 40% of 1 million on what? A. Are we together? Now, assuming B is not giving, you can get B if you know that you have invested 600,000. It will be 600,000 over 100 times what? Over 1 million times 100. That will give us 60%. But look at, if you are just giving 40%, you don't need to bother yourself. Are we together? The whole money is how much?
1 million.
The whole money is what? 1 million. That 1 million represents what in percentage? 100%. So it means for you to get B now, just say 100% minus what? 40%. That will give us what? 60%. That's what they are saying here. You know it's 1. So because we are using 1 in the formula, that means this percentage will be, when you are calculating here, it will be converted to what? To decimal point. That will be 0.4. Are we together?
Yes.
Are we together? Do you get it? Yes, I will too, ma'am. Okay, we are together. Okay. Now, let's now go to the question. Let's go to this question.
So please, I have a question.
What's the question, sir, ma'am?
So before you proceed, formula, just help us to write what it means like the full meaning so that when we are reading it can be easy to understand. Like write down.
Okay, what it stands for. Okay, no problem. Now, you can note it down. I don't want to note it down now. RP means the expected return of the what? Of the portfolio. RP, the expected return of the what? Of the portfolio. RP, the expected return of the what? Portfolio. Now, RA means the expected return from investment what? A. X means the proportion or the percentage of investment A in the what? In the portfolio. X means the percentage or the proportion of investment A in the what? In the portfolio. So if you know this now, sometimes they may not give you what? The proportion of investment or percentage of investment in B. Just say it 1 minus what? If proportion of investment in A is what? Let's say is 60%. You know that for B, it will now be 1 minus 0.6. That's what? 0.4. But if you are giving both of the proportion, you don't need to put minus. You just put what? X, this one will be XA, and this one will be what? X what? B. It's still the same thing. So please. Are we together? So let's go to, let's move to, yeah, I'm coming. Sorry, I want to, I'll send a question on the board. Please, I'm coming. You will see it now. Just please hold on. Let me. So the question I want to solve now is on page 211 on what? SFM ICANN what? Material. Are we together now? So let's look at it briefly. So I've screenshot for those that are online, I've screenshot that question to us both on SFM group and FM group. So let me read the question now. They said you have 1 million to invest in stock what? A and B. And the following information is given for the two stock. So they gave us stock A and B, the current price, the expected price in year 1, and the expected what? Dividends. Are we together now? They said you have decided A. They now give us a question. They said you have decided to invest 750,000 naira on stock A and 250 on stock B. Calculate the expected return on what? On your portfolio. Look at it now. Who can tell me? That means the expected return of the individual investment was not given. Did they give us the expected return? Are we together? The expected return is not given, and the percentage or the proportion of investment in A and B in the portfolio is not given. That means you need to use this formula. You will arrive at what? At the variables. Is that variables to you? Now, who can tell me how to calculate the expected return? Or the... You remember when we were in the class? Is it last week? I was calculating one calculation for us, and I gave you a formula for how to calculate total return or expected return of money. That is what you use. How do we calculate that? We say the what? The value. That means the value of the investment at the end minus the value of the investment at the beginning divided by what? By the value of the investment at the beginning plus dividends times what? For those that are not in the class then when we treated this, please note this now. So to calculate now, look at it now. Look at it. So we don't know the expected return of A now, right? So we use this formula. Are we together? Let me divide the board here. So I'll do the work he said. Now let's go to the working side. I've sent it. I've not screenshots on the group. Is it on the FM class? Yes. They said it's there.
But you have sent it earlier. There are something that have dropped.
Maybe it's the. So the expected return from two asset portfolio, that's what we are calculating now. And the formula is what? The P and V. Sorry, I'm repeating because I did not on the video. And I know that we don't play with videos, so that's why I'm doing it again. That I will not offend you guys. RP means what? What does RP mean? It means the expected return of the portfolio. Equals to what? The expected return of the individual investment. Investment what? A. Whatever you put, what are you expecting to? What are you? What is the return for your investment? That's what. On what? On A. X means the what? The percentage or proportion of investment in what? In A. Y plus RB means the what? The expected return of investment of what? From B. What if you invest 2 naira? What percentage will I get back? That's what they are saying. What percentage will I get back? So bank sometimes they will tell you that if you put, I'm just giving example now, like if you put your money on fixed deposit account, now you are going to get 50%. So whatever you put, you are expecting what? I'm just okay. Let's continue. Now and what? 1 minus x. I told us that if the proportion of investment of B is not given, it's easy to get. Just assume. Don't let it will not be. Since you know that the proportion of x is what? Let's say it's 60%. And it's two asset portfolio. That means the balance is what is going to be invested in the other what? Investment. That's why we now have what? We now have, let's say 60, because it's 1, the approximate is 0.6. 1 minus what? 0.6. And 1 minus 0.6 is what? 0.4. So you know that it is 40% that is invested in what? In B. But if the proportion of investment is given to you, are we together now? Directly, you know that of A and you know that of B. You don't need to what? To stress yourself by putting minus. Just say that what? The proportion of investment of A and the proportion of investment of what? Of B. Are we together now? But if it's not given, you can find out of B by saying what? By saying 1 minus what? X.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to add, they said all those things, since you use 40, you use 20 the other time, right? So how you get the percentage?
Why are people after my life? So the expected return now will now be the value at what? At the end. For investment A, they have given us the value at the end in 1 month, in 1 year's time to be what? 48 minus 40. And they said the dividend is what? Is 0. That's why you have the 0 there. Divided by what? 40 times 100. This is the formula you use for expected return. It is in our previous what? Class. We did that. So we have calculated the expected what? Return of A. So let us see. The expected return of A now, because I want to cancel this place, is what? Of A is 20%, and that of B is 30%. So what else do we need to calculate? The proportion of the investment in what? In A and B. So let me cancel this. So look at it now. How much was invested in A? How much was invested in A? 750,000. So it will be 750,000 over the total amount to be invested in the two investments, which is 1 million times 100. So 75%. So if 75% is invested in A, you already know that because it's two investments. If it's still now, you need to be using different formula to calculate that. Look at it now. If it's to get the proportion of investment in B now, you just say 1 minus what? 0.75. So that will be what? 0.25. That's 25%. So we now know that proportion of investment in B or in A is what? Is 75%. And that of what? B is what? 25%. So now let's go to the formula. So our return on portfolio now, since we have gotten the required, it will not be what? It will not be expected return of A is what? 0.2. Is 0.2. 20% times the proportion of investment in what? In A is what? 75%. But that 75% will be what? Is 0.75. Because if you put this now, You have two investment. Sorry, ma. You have two investment. Just don't mute your mic. You have two investment. You have invest 75% of what you have, the money you have that you want to use to invest. You have invest 75% on investment A, and it's two investment that you want to invest. What's that saying? That means the balance, whatever is left, you will invest it on what? On B. So that will be 1 minus what? I told you that if you want to convert what? Percentage to decimal, that 75% will now be 0.75. And if you don't want to convert it, just say 100 minus what? 75%. You will still get what? 25%. But whenever you are using it in this what? In this calculation, you should always what? Convert it to what? To decimal. But if you don't convert it to decimal, by the time you are saying 20 times what? 75%, whatever the answer you get, always divide it by what? By 100. So some of you will forget. So it's better you do it like this. So this will be what? You know, if you multiply 75 here, it means you are saying that, you know, it's expressed in 100. You are saying 100 times 100. Because the return should be expressed in what? In 100. So, are you getting it now? Yes. That's why you have to express one variable in what? In percentage, the other in decimal. So that by the time you get the answer, you don't need to be divided by 100 again. Go and look at it. This one, you are doing an answer. So this one is what? 7 point what? 5 plus what? The expected return on investment B, which is what? 30%. Times what? The expected the proportion of investment in what? In B. We have calculated it to be what? 25%. That will be 0.25. So what do you have? I just said that the return on portfolio is expressed in what? In percentage. Ma, whatever you understand, if you put 20 times 75, I want to get that now. If you put 20 times, okay, if you put 20 times 75 plus 20 times 25, you get what I'm saying now? That means what you are saying, that you are saying 100 times what? 100. So whatever you are getting, because that thing must be expressed in percentage. Are we together now? It must be expressed in percentage. And that percentage that we are looking at now, that means, don't worry, let us do it like this now.
The minus 0.20, the minus 0.2 times 0.75 plus 0.3 times 0.5.
Just any one year, you will change it back.
Okay.
Oh yeah? Yeah, for the word. Oh yeah, 20 times 0.75. Hey, 15. I will choose. And then we are using 0.75. X is also in percentage. So why are we using 0.75 for our risk? That means you do not follow, ma. I will not answer your question. That means you are not. I've repeated this how many times? This is the, if I repeated it now, this is the third time that I'm repeating it again. That means you are not following, ma. So why are you disturbing yourself? So if it is that method you want to follow, multiply 20 times what? 75. Whatever the answer you get, you now go and divide by what? 100. You get the same thing. Now, is it clear? Are we together? It's just like you say, look at it. You have 20% and you have 50%. Yes, ma'am. You have 20%. Look at it too. You have 20%, 10%, and you have 10%. Are we together now? You now say you should multiply it. Is it correct? You know, if you multiply it, let's say 20% times 20%. You know, if you multiply, we are not expressing it in percentage again. It should be 10% plus what? 10%. That will not give us what? 30%. But if you multiply, what is it going to give you? 300%. So you now divide it by what? By 100 to convert it to what? Percentage. But whatever you choose is SFL. The way you understand, just adopt it like that. Oh yeah, what do you have? 15 plus what? 30 times 0.25. What do you have? 7.5. So what do you have? 15 plus 7.5 is what? So the expected return for the two investments is what? Is 22.5 when combined together. Are we together now? That is the expected return of the portfolio. Now let me now go to sir. Yes, 22.5%. Yes, that is the expected return of the portfolio. No, portfolio are just combination of both investment A and B. And what you are expected to get for those two investments. If you put 75%, if you put 75% in what? In A and 25% in B, what you will get for the combination for that 1 million that you have invested is what? Is 22.5%. That's what they are saying. What are we saying? You know, I told us that portfolio theory is what? Help investors to what? To determine how to invest, so that to know the suitable what? Combination, to get the suitable combination for both what? Return and investment risks. But we have not calculated risks now here. We are still looking at what? The expected return of two asset portfolio. Now let's now go to the question now. Now let's go to question B. I will cancel this now. It's already on the screenshot that I did. So let's go to B.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
Sir, in case maybe for instance we are doing this practical, something practical, and
You know what, sir? Please just in the next class, or you can drop that question on the group. It's past 6 now. It's past 6. Please let me solve the B and be going. It's past 6. Oh God. Let's listen. Now let's now go to B now. They said assume you desire an expected return of 28% on the portfolio. What's that now? Man, that means they have given you what the investor is expecting. It's not like you are the one. You know, the first question is that we are calculating the expected return of the portfolio. That's why we calculate to 22.15. But now they are now telling you that the investors is assuming you are expecting what? 28% on the portfolio, on the combination of the two assets now. Look at this now. They now say, how will you invest that 1 million? What are they saying? That means we don't know whether to put 75% in A, or whether to put 25% in B, or whether it's 30%. So you are looking at how to invest that 1 million, how to apportion that 1 million to those two investments that will give you what? 28%. Are we together? So now that's where the problem now lies. Now look at, I'm with you. Let's continue. I'm with you. It's past 6. Please, let's continue.
sorry, sir, I have a question.
Oh God. I'm with you.
Sorry, sir. Actually, I wanted to ask on the on the post.
Okay.
Based on the computation we did,
Yes, sir.
we computed the returns on that investment A.
And B.
It gives us like a 30%.
22.5%.
It gives us 13%, which is supposed to, if we now apply those percentage on the amount of 250,000 and then 750,000, which it will give us value different. That if you now sum the two together, the one we work, that is 22.5%, and apply that percentage on 1 million, you will find out that it will be minimum or lesser than the two together differently. So how is it that it doesn't come with like
I don't still get your point, sir. You are looking at now. You know what, sir? You can drop a voice note. I will answer. I will respond to it. Please just drop a voice note on the group. I will get. It seems I'm getting what you are saying, but I don't want to dwell much on it. I know what you are saying. Okay, that 22%. If you multiply it by the 1 million and you multiply 15% from that investment, it will not give you a combined figure as 22. Well, just drop a voice note of that question. I will not tackle it. But it seems I'm getting what you are saying. But don't forget that it was not 1 million in investment A and 1 million in investment B. The proportion is different. So, but let's just go to, please, I will answer your question later, please. Because it's past 6 now. And I want to do this B. Now, look at it now. Look at this B now. Now, they have given us what? The expected return of B, which is what? 28. Now, the expected return on A has been given, right? But we don't know how to what? How to invest. What's the expected return of B?
Are you recording already?
Yes, I'm recording. Oh yeah. What's the expected return of A? Expected return of A. Oh yeah. Expected return.
Oh, 20%.
20%.
Yes.
So that we don't know the proportion to invest. How much of that 1 million should we invest in A? We don't know it. So you represent it with X. Plus what? What's the expected return of investment of B? Eh?
30%.
What do you call it?
30%.
30%. So 30. We don't know. Can you see now? Do we know the proportion to invest in B?
No.
Are we together? But because we don't know it, that means if we know A, the proportion of investment to invest in A, we will know that of B. Because they said you should minus from what? From 1 or 100. Any part. So it means this will be times what? 1 minus what? X. Are we together? So now don't let me just put that here because some people still ask the X is different from its multiplication. Now for you to open this bracket now, what happen? It will be 28 equals to 20x plus what? 30 open bracket now. 30 times 1 will give us what? 30 times minus x will give us what? So what do? Collect what? Like times. So if you collect like times now, so let's say 28, this one cross here, minus what? 30 equals to 20x minus what? 30x. So this one will give us what? Minus 2x, and this will give us what? Minus 10x. Yes. So divide both sides by what? By what? Divide both sides by what? Minus 10. So minus 10, cancel minus 10. So what do you have? X is equal to what? 0.2. That 0.2 is what? Because if it's expressed in percentage, is what? Or what? 20%. So if we know the proportion of investment to invest in what? In A. That is for us to get that of B. What is B? B will now be what? 1 minus what? Is 0.2. That means it will give us what? That will give us what? 0.8. And 0.8 is what? 80%. So for you to have the expected return on the portfolio, to expected return of 28 what percent, you need to invest what? 20% on investment A and 80% on investment what? B. That will give you the what? The desired what? Expected return on the portfolio to be what? 28%. 8%. So if you pick it now, if you pick all these variables and multiply it and get it, you will get 28. Are we together now? If you put this 20 times what? 0.2 plus 30 times what? 0.80. You will get what? 28. Thank you. We'll continue from that on our next class. Thank you very much. God bless us. So you can. I should do what? Okay. Bye bye.